Why the Possum's Tail is Bare. This story is from the Cherokee people, indigenous to the United States. Everyone knows that the possum has a bare tail. It is long, pink, and completely hairless. However, it was not always this way. Once, Possum's tail was covered in long, luxurious fur, and Possum was very proud of his tail. He was always singing songs about his tail and showing it off at dances and sitting in front of his lodge and brushing it till the sun made it gleam. Rabbit was very tired of Possum showing off his tail all the time. "That Possum," Rabbit said. "He's always bragging about his tail, and he's always waving it around in the air and combing it where everyone can see it. Someone needs to knock him down a bit." Now Rabbit was jealous of Possum's tail because Rabbit only had a silly little round stubby tail. This was because Rabbit, too, used to have a beautiful long tail until he got in an argument with Bear, and Bear pulled it off. Rabbit knew everyone knew what happened to his tail, and he didn't like to be reminded. So he decided to play a trick on Possum, a trick to stop him singing and dancing about his tail and showing it off. Now, not long after, the animals decided it was time to hold a great council and dance. Rabbit was the messenger, so he went to each of the animals and told them when the council was to be held and where. When Rabbit came to Possum's lodge and told him about the council and the dance, Possum said, "Well, I guess I'll come. But I'll only be there if I have a special seat where I can sit in front of everyone and show off my beautiful tail. Everyone will be sure to want to admire it." "I think we can arrange that," said Rabbit. "And I'll not only make sure that you get a seat of honor, I'll even send someone to help you comb out your tail so it looks its very best." "Well, that's a splendid idea," Possum said. "I will surely come to the council now. I can't wait to show off my tail." "Oh, you're going to be showing it off all right," Rabbit said to himself as he hopped away from Possum's house. "Just not in the way you think." Rabbit went to Cricket's lodge next. He invited Cricket to the council, and he told him he had a little trick that he wanted to play. "Oh, I'll certainly come to the council and the dance," said Cricket. "Just tell me what you have in mind, and I'll see it gets done." Rabbit told Cricket what his plan was, and then he hopped away to tell the rest of the animals about the council. In the morning, Cricket went to Possum's lodge. Possum was already sitting outside and had just begun to comb his tail. "Good morning, Possum," said Cricket. "What a lovely tail you have. Someone should help you get it ready for this council. It would be a shame if it weren't absolutely perfect when everyone else gets to see it." "Oh, just so," said Possum. "Would you be willing to help me?" "Almost certainly," said Cricket. So Possum handed Cricket his comb, and then he laid down and closed his eyes to enjoy having his tail combed for him. Cricket combed out Possum's tail so that it shone even more brightly than it had before. When he was done, he said to Possum, "It would be a shame if a single hair got out of place. What if I tied it up so that it stays just as perfect now as it is now? You can remove the threads when you get to the council and show everyone your perfect tail." "Well, that is a splendid idea," said Possum. "Please do my tail up for me." Cricket got some fine thread and began wrapping it around Possum's tail, but as he did so, he snipped off every last hair, way down at the roots. Cricket did this very gently so Possum didn't notice, and the thread held everything in place, fur and all, so the tail looked as it always had. That evening, Possum went to the council, his tail still wrapped up. Rabbit greeted him and showed him to his place of honor. Soon it came time for Possum to dance. He pulled the thread off his tail, but he was so intent on dancing his very best and showing off his tail that he didn't notice that all the fur fell to the ground. His tail was as bare as could be. Possum went to the center of the circle and began to dance and sing. "My tail's the most beautiful," he sang, not noticing that the other animals were shouting, because they had seen the fur fall. Possum sang and danced some more. "My tail is the most shining fur. The fur has the best color." Again, all the animals shouted at Possum, but he didn't notice. "Look at my tail," Possum sang. "It's the best tail in the whole world." Finally, Possum had to stop singing and pay attention to the other animals because they were all laughing so hard that their sides hurt. Possum looked down, and instead of a beautiful gleaming tail covered in rich fur, there was a naked thing without a single hair. It looked like a lizard's tail. Possum was astonished and very ashamed, so much so that he couldn't even finish his dance. Instead, he flopped down on the ground, rolled over on his back, with a grin on his face. And that is why possums now roll over and play dead whenever they're caught by surprise.